the JennaJackPack Project?
We created the JennaJackPack because my daughter passed away in a swimming accident. It'll be 4 years ago in June, and when she passed away, naturally what happened was, our family and friends came to our home and they supported us and tried to provide as much love as they possibly could to help us through those first days. And as parents, of course, all the adults rallied around us as parents. And then our older daughter, Abby, was just finished junior year of high school, so all of her friends came. But John, our youngest child, Jenna was the middle child, so John, our youngest child, was only in 5th grade. So, fifth graders are not going to be able to come to the house. So for John, even though there were so many people and so much love and support around us, he really didn't have anybody his age to support him. At the same time, what we didn't know was that the people that knew Jenna, like you girls, and the girls from the fusion team and the girls from, and all the kids in Mayapack that knew her, obviously were pretty devastated because she was, full of life, and so people couldn't understand how this could happen. And so what we came to learn was that many of the kids your age were having a really difficult time, and really just having a tough time dealing with it. And this one young boy knew Jenna because he was friends with Ailish's brother.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so Owen, right? So Owen was friends with this boy, is still friends with Johnny Bernardi, and Johnny knew Jenna, and he also knew John. And so he was devastated at the thoughts of Jenna, even though Jenna used to drive him crazy, but he was devastated at the thoughts of, that happening to Jenna. But his heart really went out to John. And he just was really worried about John.
Were they in the same grade?
No, he was a year younger than Jenna, which means he was 2 years older than John. And, he was having a really hard time. And he was really worried about John, and he kept saying to his mom, like, I just keep thinking about John. Anyway, his mom was trying to help him through that time and saying, like, well, maybe, you could do something for him. And he's like, what could I do? And then finally one day he woke up, and Lana Bernardi, who was really the reason why the whole JennaJackPack Project started, she's really the reason behind the JennaJackPack. She said, well, what is he like? What does John like? What does he like to do? And with that, Johnny, it lit up, and he said, oh my gosh, he really loves candy. So they went out, and Owen went with them, and they bought this huge basket of candy and gum and sugar cereal and all the things he was not allowed to have. And they delivered it to the door. And I didn't know Lana at the time, but of course the children knew each other. And really, if you talk to John, it changed everything for him because, he did have the love and support, but he didn't have anybody his age telling him, we're here and we're thinking of you. And
at that age, how do you even understand it?
And they're so young and they don't understand it. And, so it was really a tough time for John. And when this came to our house, it was the first connection to his peers and to the kids that he was friends with. And he said it was the first time he felt like he could get back to his life at that time. And then so fast forward, we had the Gen Fest.
That was
so that was the next May.
And
at Gen Fest, Lana Bernardi came to Gen Fest, and she said to me, I really think that this could be something we could do for other children. And that's how it started. So we started with baskets. We'd go to Lana's house and we'd fill baskets with all kinds of yummy goodies and all kinds of things. And then once we really started getting into it, because we thought that, how often are you going to create these baskets? But you wouldn't believe it. Within the time that Jenna died, that summer, another young boy died, and he had 4 siblings, all younger than him, and then another older boy died, and he had 2 siblings younger. So we found ourselves making a lot of baskets and we realized very quickly that there was a need for this. So we started to do a little bit of research to see like, well, what organization does this kind of thing? And we found that there weren't any.
Yeah.
So then we decided to get organized, and I worked with my mentor, who I worked with for years and years and years. He works a lot with nonprofits, and I called him and I just said, here's the idea. And I told him about, he knew about Jenna, but I told him about Jack.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, right now we're doing baskets, but we really want to do something that's, people can, take with them, the kids can use.
Yeah.
And I said, like a backpack, all the kids use backpacks, So he said, JennaJackPack. And that's how the name came
That's
up.
perfect.
And so it's kind of, it's just grown from there. But it's really, the JennaJackPack Project is really about kids caring for kids. We have kind of two really important things that we try to accomplish in our mission. One is we try to encourage empathy in young people, and two, we try to give young people the opportunity to express their condolences and their love and their support of a child going through a difficult time.
Is anyone else besides the people that you named involved in it?
Yeah, so there's a lot of people involved in the project. So last year was our first year that we kicked it off and collaborated with schools, and we had 4 schools collaborate last year, and I think it included, probably over 600 young people involved in that. But we do have a board of officers now, and so Lana, the inspiration, and Johnny, who are the inspiration for the whole project. So Lana is my partner, so she's the vice president on the board, and then I have 2 lifelong friends, Jean Meany and Diane O'Shea, that are on the board. My husband's on the board. And then our another good friend, Susan Meany, she was our legal counsel, but now there's an organization we work with, it's called Nonprofit Partners, and they provide us legal counsel. And my friend Steve Biondolillo helps with marketing and business planning. And then there's all kinds of community support, like the Fusion team helps us, and they helped us with the in the Yorktown schools, and they create the comfort zones for the backpacks, and those, that's a whole other relationship that I absolutely treasure. And some of Jenna's friends in Mayapack help out. We've had support from the Discovery Channel, because our neighbor Peter Conlon works with them. And then we've had people work with us on our website. My son John and my daughter Abby help out. And then, we do have friends and supporters that donate to the organization as well.
Sounds good. Okay. What areas has the JennaJackPack Project spread to? Is it local or from further areas as well?
Well, right now the schools that are involved are local. So we have Mildred East Strang, and then we have Mayapack, and we have St. James and Carmel, and the School of the Holy Child in Rye. They were the first 4 to begin. And now we also have the St. John and Paul in Larchmont, and we have the Convent of the Sacred Heart.
And how do they find out about it? Do you have to go to them and talk to them about it?
Yeah, so I go to the schools and I tell them about the JennaJackPack Project, and they choose to do it or not. Some schools, they're still thinking about how they would organize it, and every school runs a little bit differently, and every school community has different opportunities to get involved in something like this. So it depends on how involved they want to be. So. And in the about year and a half that we've been working on the project, we've already given out 29 JennaJackPacks. Yeah.
What are some fundraisers that the JennaJackPack Project does within schools and the community?
So like I was saying, every school is a little bit different. So the way that they raise the money is up to them. So we've had things like penny wars and dances. We've had just collection jugs. We've had the piggyback bank, the JennaJackPack piggy bank. They've done things like March Madness and basketball tournaments, because
awesome.
Although soccer was Jenna and Jack's first love, Jenna did play basketball.
She did.
Every school is a little bit different, so they come up with really fun and creative ways to raise the money. Mayapack just kicked off today, their second year of JennaJackPack, so they created a video and they presented the video to the school. It was really a cute video, and then they spray painted these big huge jugs to collect the money.
What is included in the JennaJackPacks that are delivered to the children?
So every backpack is customized for the individual child. What we try to do is find out, what their favorite color is, and what their favorite hobby is, or if they play a sport. And we try to find a little bit of information about each child. But what the core ingredients are is every child will get either some type of blanket or throw or a pillow. Every pack comes with a journal and a pen. So for the little ones, we have like little cute journals, with pictures, and they can color that, and they can, write whatever they want. And then for the older kids, we have, real journals that they can write in. There are candy and snacks, which is very, very important to my son John, because he's like, more candy, more snacks, So every pack comes with that. Every pack comes with a comfort stone that the Fusion girls made, and those stones are really just taken. The idea came from kindness rocks. So you girls, hopefully you'll share the picture of you girls that making the kindness stones, and they have little messages like strength, love, peace, hope, and then from Mildred E. Strang we got little pins, and they also have really great messages for everybody. So that those are the core contents, and then depending on the age of the child and the interests of the child, we do things like arts and crafts, and we do sports, hats, gloves, stuffed animals from the Discovery Channel. If the child is into something specific, then we try to get that item and put it in there as well. So we kind of make up the core of the backpack with those 5 or 6 things, and then the school or the other person can donate. But oftentimes what happens is the school then, just because they usually know the child, they'll put in all their favorite things.
How has the creation of JennaJackPack changed the way you view certain things in life?
Well, I think some of the things I probably thought about in the back of my head, but the 3 most evident things that I think about now are the one thing that I was telling you about. Oftentimes, kids caring for kids has the most direct impact on how a child feels at a difficult time in their lives, and especially when they go through the difficulty of losing a sibling or parent, it really makes all the difference in the world. So that's why we really stress that the project is really all about kids caring for kids. I've always thought this, but I've seen it through JennaJackPack, that no act of kindness, whether it's a hug or somebody telling you look nice today, or any type of friendship of support, again, from a peer your same age, has tremendous impact on young people. And I think the simplest act of kindness can have a huge impact. And I actually just a couple of times have received letters from a girl that was going through a tough time when they were in middle school, and Jenna had reached out to this girl, and I didn't even know her, and she still talks about it, like how it really, she noticed her one day, and Jenna just kind of how Jenna was, she just kind of started walking with her and talking and trying to figure out what was bothering her. And it's just those little things. Jenna wasn't perfect, none of us are, but I think being aware of the people around you and just saying a kind word, or just saying, are you okay today, really makes a huge impact. And I think in today's society, the way that you guys have grown up, everything is so instantaneous and moving so quickly. Sometimes we forget to just kind of take a moment and notice people, right? And then the final thing, especially for girls, but I think for all young people, you have to lift each other up and encourage each other instead of tearing. It's easy to tear people down, but it's so much more important to lift people up and encourage them.
Do you plan on expanding the JennaJackPack Project, and how do you plan to do so?
So, yeah, I mean, the immediate expansion plans are just to partner with more schools. The challenge right now is that we all work full-time jobs.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get to schools as much as we can and you know, connect in that way. And so we'll continue to visit schools and try to reach out. And so we will continue to do that. We're right now in the process of brainstorming, you know, how we might partner with corporations and local businesses, because people have reached out to us and they wanted to support us in that way. But I think the most important thing is that we're in a position right now that we're happy to help whomever we can. So hopefully, you know, while we would never like to pack a JennaJackPack again, the unfortunate thing is that tragedies happen, and so we will continue to provide JennaJackPacks to any child that needs them. So that's something that we hope to do for many years to come.
Awesome.
Perfect. Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
thank you.
So, you know, the one thing that I didn't do.
What has the JennaJackPack Project meant to you?
Okay, well, the JennaJackPack Project has really been so inspirational to me. First and foremost, I'll forever be grateful to Lana Bernardi and her son Johnny, who was delivered that first basket of treats to John. And, you know, Lana was the one who said, you know, I really think that we could do this for other children who are coping with the devastating loss in their family. And so I'll forever be grateful to Lana for encouraging me to get involved in the project. Secondly, I think just as important is that we are both, Lana and I, and all the people that work on the project, so grateful to be able to help children that are going through such a devastating time in their lives. You know, while we know the packs aren't going to make a great impact on their lifelong wellness, you know, if we provide just a moment of comfort or just a smile at a time that's so devastating to a young child, then, you know, we're just so grateful to have that opportunity to help children in that way. And then for my family and I think the most important thing that we're grateful for is the opportunity to have Jenna's memory live on. And I think that's also important to Jack's family, is that they were both very empathetic young people. And when I were able to provide a JennaJackPack to a young person, I remember how much Jenna loved the little ones, and you know, how she connected in so many ways with so many different people, which we learned about actually after she passed. You know, we knew what she meant in our family. She was kind of like the glue. She was, you know, enjoyed her middle child status. But you know, the way that she really was able to see people and help them in ways that, you know, was really kind of unusual for her age. I mean, she wasn't perfect, none of us are perfect, but she did have a way with people. And so if we can bring that with us in the way that we help people through JennaJackPack, then that's such a great opportunity for us to allow Jenna's and Jack's memory to live on.